You can love it. You can hate it. You can be proud to be part of it. You may be thinking of ways to dismantle it. The reserve list is there, and right now, I am stunned by the amount of sales. You all know the haters are gonna come out to play with this video. The emails will flow, the messages in the comments section, but that's okay. We can take it because we love the reserve list. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel today for a stunning episode of your Hot 10 Reserve List edition. And of course, we will talk about this on the live stream tonight, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I hope you guys watched yesterday's videos, but this is what happens when Wizards of the Coast neglects the player base. This is part of it. I have a follow-up video for Monday on this when the players are saying let it collapse. You guys can watch that on Monday. But what fascinates me about this, it's the amount of sales. We've had a few jokey episodes on the live stream, and we will continue that this weekend, where we've been buying some cards, having some fun, and that's just a very small corner of the population of Magic reaching out there and saying, yeah, I'll buy a little bit of this, I'll buy a little bit of that. But when there's nothing else to buy, when the players aren't enticed by anything that Wizards of the Coast is putting out there, yeah, that's when players start looking at that blue chip stock again and they go to the reserve list. And you know what? It doesn't have to be some amazing card that's like a Power 9, a Power 10, Black Lotus, BGS 10 rated, Library of Alexandria. It can be as simple as a Thrall Champion. It could be the Elvish Farmer. It could be Fungal Bloom. Maybe you're one of those people who went and bought Rashida, right? Maybe you got... No matter what, guys, there's cards for everyone, and some players just like to collect it. They have no intention of playing with the pieces, but they like to collect it. It's in human nature to collect this stuff. Been around since time immemorial, guys. We've had it forever. Immemorial? Whatever it is. You guys, you get my English language. I don't know how to speak on this channel. I've had too many nachos and cheese. I'm in a salt coma right now. But let's get to it. We're going to start at number 10. We're going to roll this down to number 9. Oh, number 10 to number 9. How early on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Monday morning? When am I recording this again? What is going on? This is one of those days where I'm not cutting out a blooper reel. I didn't do anything for April 1st, April Fool's Day. So we're just going to roll with this one today. I'm recording late at night. I had to get the final numbers in. I had to prep this up. We're going to start at number 10. This is like take 2. Start at number 10. Go down to number 1, follow the yellow brick road to the Emerald City, and see where we land. And for all you Devi Excavation fans out there, it's still there. We're still on the top 10 with that card. All right, guys, and wow. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Let's get to it. We're starting out the journey on the yellow brick road with number 10's Baldubian Trading Post. 47 sales this week from the 25th to the 31st of 2023. That's right, the all-time high for this card is $27.99 US, February of 2021. The all-time low is 34 cents, January of 2016, and the current price tag for this card is $4.04. And remember, guys, I really actually enjoy this card. It does have a play place in a couple of my decks, including my Throw Bowl deck, because this card, when it comes into play, yeah, you got to sacrifice an untapped mountain, but it does tap for 2 mana, 1 red and 1 colorless, but it also has that side effect, which is 1 and tap it, and the trading post deals 1 damage to target attacking creature. You add that with things like Desert, you can have fun with cards like this, and players don't see it as a threat, and it can come out at the most unexpected times. So for the people buying this card, I say kudos and congratulations, because it's a card I do have about, 50 copies of at least. Great card, great stuff to see, guys. It's just one of those things you're like, yep, that's an awesome card. Now, number 9 this week is still Royal Decree. This thing is still selling, if you can believe it. Players are still saying, this is a card that I want to get my hands on, and it has 49 sales this week with an all-time high of $4.99 June of 2022. The all-time low of 28 cents March in 2017, and the current price tag is $4.23. It is kind of flirting with a new all-time high, and that's interesting to see that most of the cards on today's list have not really dipped in price. Now, for those who didn't know, the Royal Decree is a 2 white, 2 generic enchantment with a cumulative upkeep of 1 white mana from alliances. Whenever a swamp, mountain, black permanent, or red permanent becomes tapped, Royal Decree does 1 damage to that permanent's controller. I know, that hurts, guys. It's one of those cards you're like, really? That just wipes out decks like my Throw Bowl deck, I know, but it happens. Now let's go ahead, let's take a look at our number 8 card this week. Can you believe it, guys? The Ication Lieutenant is back. I did mention this card. I really didn't expect him to go anywhere because he's had buyouts before, but apparently people said, you know what? I kind of like this card. I want to see where he's going to go. And that's just what they did. Now, he only had 52 sales this week. His average price is very low, guys. Right now, you can see his current price is $1.07. His all-time high is $4.98, March of 2021. But the all-time low is 26 cents, June 2013. And anyone who's shopping for this guy on things like TCG Player, you can find light play copies for still like 30 cents, okay? This is not an expensive card, and I would not be diving in full force to buy this guy up. He does have a unique, a little bit of an ability you don't really see anymore, okay? And that's like the old pumper. When you see cards like that, when you see him, and he's not a horrible casting cost, he's 2 for a 1/2, it's kind of a generic vanilla, but his ability to pump up soldiers, 1 white, 1 generic, and you can give a target soldier +1/+0 till end of turn. But soldiers nowadays have things like double strike. You can add flanking to that. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff to pump these guys up. And this is just another like small card in the arsenal which you could use to throw people off. You know, they're not expecting it. I always kind of like the flavor text from Fallen Empires myself. I find the set a very fun, flavorful set. Even if it's not powerhouse, it's still a lot of fun. But now we're heading down to number 7. That's right, we got Teletour coming at us, if you can believe it. Another one of those guys I have mentioned in the past. Definitely not a very expensive card. I think he's like 50, 60 cents. But 59 sales this week. And that's from the 25th to the 31st of March. It has an all-time high of $4.99, March of 2021. The all-time low of 25 cents, March 2017. And the current price tag of $1.29. And for those who have never seen Teletour or like know what this guy's about, he is a 1 red, 4 generic casting cost 2/2 with flanking. That's right, flanking creatures say, whenever a creature without flanking is assigned to block this creature, the blocking creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. If Teletour attacks, all attacking creatures with flanking get +1/+1 till end of turn. Now, he's a 2/2 for 5, guys. He's not your best. I mean, the artwork's cool, but he is not the best bet to get out there. But he's still seeing enough sales because players are saying, I must like him. He doesn't have horsemanship, but yeah, he's on a horse. I just like the card. And they're buying it. For whatever reason, they're having some fun with it. I can totally understand that and back that up. If you wanted to spend $10 and get yourself like 20, 30 copies of this, that's kind of where you're going with this, right? It's that interesting part of it, is it becomes very affordable for these really low-end cards, and you just never know. So that's where we're at. Now, we're going down here to number 6, and that is Kil'jaeden Outpost, guys, from Alliances again. 66 sales this week with an all-time high of $39.99, March 2021. The all-time low, $3.57, February of 2014. Notice that the low on this card is nowhere near other cards' lows that we've seen from this mana base from Alliances. The current price tag is $16.85, and I've talked about this card numerous times. The price point's just really too good to ignore, but in case you guys didn't know, it's from Alliances, it's a land, and when it comes into play, the Kil'jaeden Outpost, you must sacrifice a plains or bury that outpost. It can tap to add 1 white mana to your mana pool, or you can tap 1 white mana and 1 generic to tap it and put a soldier token into play, treat it as a 1/1 white creature. Guys, it's a fun card. And again, I don't see it staying this low forever. It's one of those cards I'm like, yeah, you might want to pick one up, at least for a commander deck in the future, if it's ever the route you're going to take. But now we're going down to number 5. The Yellow Brick Road is paved with gold this week and a lot of fun cards. And that's right, we talked about it the other day. Sidar is here. Okay, what's the last name? Jabari? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. You guys will let me know. You can correct me in the comments section. 82 sales this week, guys. All-time high is $4.99, March 2021. All-time low, 31 cents, May 2016. And the current price tag is $1.30. A very inexpensive card. And again, if you take a closer look at these flanking creatures from back in the day, this one is no different. This is 1 white, 3 generic for a 2/2 flanker. But if Sidar attacks, tap 1 target creature defending player controls, and that's where things can get fun. And guys, if you're buying any of these cards, of course, this is the part where I say, hey, I got to shill for myself, right? If you're going to use a TCG player, you're going to be buying a card, please don't forget to use my affiliate link found in the description of the video. You just click the link, takes you right for your shopping experience, and of course the Moxman gets a bit of a kickback, helps the channel out, and it's free to do. So thanks a lot for those who took the time to do it. Now we're moving down. That's right. We are going down to number 4. Can you believe it? You've made it this far in the video. We're like 7-8 minutes in. You're like, just get to it, man. That's right, guys. We've got Devi Excavations at number 4 this week. I know it's popping down, but you know what? It's getting more expensive. It's not a cheap card anymore, and that's where players find themselves. When cards get expensive like this and they go up in price, you're going to have a shyness to it. Also, there's a lack of available copies. 84 sales this week, all-time high, $46.36, March 2023, and I'm proud to say I own a lot of copies. The all-time low is 89 cents, April 2013. Current price tag is $46.31. We lost a little bit of price on this, just a 5-cent nickel, but most of the copies that are available now are moderately played, or they're over the $35 to $40 mark US. Guys, it is getting to be a pricey card, and if you hold the line and don't sell it, the card really can't go down in price. This is going to be an interesting one to watch again on the channel and see where it goes. But now we are heading down to the number 2 card this week. Oh, sorry, number 3. Sorry, this was number 4. Going to number 3. That's right. Rainbow Veil. Can you believe it? The Veil is back in the house again. And this card had 99 sales this week with an all-time high of $19.99 August of 2020, all-time low of 48 cents way back in March of 2013, and a current price tag of $7.46. And the funny thing about the all-time low for Fallen Empires cards, this card was always used. We used this with Zernor back in the day to, mana fix things to make sure you got the cards you needed. So it's very interesting, the idea that, you pass it to your opponent, but there's ways of unsummoning it at the end of your turn. There's ways of killing it and bringing it back with like Fastball and Crucible Worlds. We had options even up to a few years ago that I'm surprised this card is as low as it is, and the artwork is awesome. So way to go for those people out there buying this card, but now we're going to number 2. Now we know where we are. We know the status of things. We're almost at the end of the Yellow Brick Road, and this is your number 2 card. It is 3 Wishes. That's right, guys. We're going to Visions. We're bringing out the gold here when we're popping into the world of Visions, and that is an amazing card. It has a lot of play uses out there, and players are just saying, you know what? I'm going to buy copies of this card. 119 sales this week. All-time high of $19.99, April 2021. All-time low 30 cents way back in April of 2015, and the current price tag is $3.30 US. Now, for those who have never seen this card and don't know 3 Wishes, it is an instant. Okay, it says take the top 3 cards from your library, look at them, and set them aside face down. You may play those cards as though they were in your hand. At the beginning of your next turn, bury any of the cards not played. Now, we did not use this to actually cast spells. We used it to mana fix and to get the cards we wanted. So we would look ahead of our cards using things like Ancestral Knowledge back in the day, and then use 3 Wishes to kind of get cards out of the way. Although sometimes we did cast them as well. So 3 Wishes was always kind of that fun card. It never went really high in price, and that's kind of a cool thing. So you've waited, you've made it. You've put up with the Moxman here for like over 10 minutes, guys. And now you get to see the number 1 card. This is the one you've all been waiting for, Triangle of War. This was a buyout card on the channel last week. The people of this channel did it, and that's what happens sometimes, because it was only $1 was the average price. So Triangle of War had 178 sales last week. The all-time high is $17.24, February of 2022. The all-time low, 32 cents, December 2014, and the current price tag is $4.08. It was at $1, and you can see that on the sheet you're looking at, that this thing got a little bit of a boost, and that is because of the buyout here. It shows how a few people with $3 or $4 each can really affect this market. The market is far more shallow than people realize. And Triangle of War, for those who didn't know, is a 1 casting cost generic artifact. 2, and sacrifice the Triangle of War. Choose target creature you control and target creature an opponent controls Each creature deals combat damage equal to its power to each other. Guys, this is a card that can fit into any generic deck. It actually shouldn't be under 20 bucks, but it is. And that's what makes cards like this so much fun, is people underestimate some of the uses for old generic artifacts. When it's a generic artifact that's old, people go, who needs that? It doesn't do anything. But it can, and it does. In the right circumstance, in the right deck build, any reserve list card can be a little bit of janky fun, but it doesn't even have to be that. Some people just like the artwork. They like to be part of the group. They want to dive in there and have a little bit of fun. Take whatever reason you want that makes you feel better. People are having fun on the reserve list, and that's what happens when Wizards of the Coast neglects part of their player base. Thanks a lot for being here, guys. Thanks for hanging out on the channel. So Devi Excavation Army continues to grow. Welcome aboard to all the new members, and I wonder what will happen tonight on the live stream. Hey guys, a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons of the Moxman's channel. And don't worry guys, for any new patrons out there, I will be updating this little bit of the Patreon board this week. I just haven't had a chance yet. I apologize. Patrons rock! What's that? You want to join the tinfoil hat army? It's not a hard thing to do. Just get yourself a Devi Excavations. Send me a picture, send me an email, and you're in. Hold the line. Yeah!